Hello everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Full Story Playthrough, the Hildibrand quests. Yes, you thought it was over. You thought that it was the last that we had seen of our favorite Manderville man. But my friends, you would be wrong, for you see, Foxy, thinking that maybe she'd have some respite from all the insanity that Hildibrand tended to bring in his wake, took a trip to Ishgard to visit some old friends, while things were still being prepared for the push into Alamigo, when she ran into none other than... Well, who's that over there? Why, it's our dear friend, Nashu Makaraka, and she seems to be searching for someone. So let's find out what exactly she needs. Well, I'll be Foxy Games in the flesh. A pleasure to see you again. Wait, is this what they call serendipity? It is, isn't it? That settles it. You've got to help me find the inspector. Cor, I was hoping you'd silently agree. So I've been trying to calculate the trajectory the inspector took when he was catapulted into the sky again. I've triple-checked my figures and concluded he must have landed somewhere here in Ishgard. Unfortunately, the investigation hasn't been proceeding as smoothly as I'd hoped. But now that you're here, we're sure to make some progress. Come, let's speak with the merchants and see if anyone hasn't had dealings with a gentlemanly Highlander. Well, yes, we can do that, but honestly, even though it's a little bit cold and we are in the middle of Ishgard where it's constantly snowing, I feel like a change of clothes is in order just to befit what exactly we're doing here. Ah, yes, now isn't this much better, much more fitting for somebody looking for a certain gentleman inspector? And while we'll never quite emulate his certain charms, we can at least dress the part. Foxy Games, back in the inspecting business, at least for now. Well, let's go about questioning people, shall we? Right, looks like we have to speak with Frine over here. A gentlemanly Highlander, you say? My apologies, but I cannot say I have had dealings with a man as you describe. Okay. I mean, Ishgard is a big place, and forget about the rolling, snowy plains of Coerthas. Good evening to you, madam. Oh, you're looking for someone? A gentlemanly Highlander? I know not of this man who you speak, but mayhap Mistress Elias does. She is well acquainted with rather a lot of merchants and noblemen. Is it Elias or Elias? Here's Norlace. I've sold my fair share of goods to Highlander adventurers, but I'd not describe such clients as particularly gentlemanly, I'm afraid. Well, isn't that a shame? How about you, Elise? We've even spoken to her before. As ever, a warm welcome to you, miss. How may I be of service? A gentlemanly Highlander, you say? Now that I think on it, I have heard tell of a foreigner who may be the man whom you speak. Begging your pardons, miss, but did you say you know Inspector Hildibrand? An acquaintance of yours, I presume? I do not know his name, only that he is here by invitation of Lord Edmund, or so it is rumored. Oh dear. Surely, as a ward of Housefort Tom, it would be a trifling matter to go and ask him at the manor. Cor, I knew it was serendipity! To Fort Tom Manor. Well, let's hurry, I'm freezing my tits off here. Yes, I tried to make the outfit as, similar as possible. The gloves aren't 100% right, but I do think I got this Manderville look down, wouldn't you say? Now, full disclosure, I had done the Realm Reborn Manderville quests. I have never, ever touched the Heavensward ones, or the Stormblood ones. So, this is all brand new to me. Well met, Mistress Games. Do you require assistance? Aye, it is as you say. At this time, Lord Edmund is entertaining a foreign guest. Huzzah! We've found the inspector! If I am not mistaken, their meeting should be ending shortly. If you like, you may retire to the gazebo and wait for our guest to depart. A gazebo? Aren't those dangerous? Then again, you seem a responsible sort. Not like to let a wild gazebo run amok. Very well, we humbly accept your offer. Gazebo? Is she referring to like a gazelle? Oh, Nashu, you're adorable, but you're not very bright. And if it wakes up, I'll have you there to protect me. She does think it's an animal. Don't mind her, good Sir Knight. She's, she keeps very particular company. With what powerful magics did they tame this dread fiend? Oh no, she actually thinks this thing is alive. Wow. Why this? What? There's no purpose. There's no point. And she's falling asleep as usual. That must be Inspector Hildibrand. I cannot well imagine how arduous your journey must have been. Truth be told, I've found the brisk Coerthan air to be rather invigorating. It stimulates body and mind both, a welcome benefit when one must discuss matters of commerce. I dare say we would not have accomplished so much otherwise. There you are, Inspector. I've been looking all over for you. I say, who do I see before me? Not one but two of my beloved son's faithful companions. Oh my god, he's actually covered up. Lord Godbert? But I thought... Hildy, in Ishgard? This is the first I've heard of it. Aha! I found you at last, heretic! Yes, you! The hulking brute with a mad gleam in his eye. Your brazen heresy is plain for all to see. Surrender yourself to the Inquisition at once. Oh yeah, this might be a little bit anachronistic. These quests must take place before the end of the Heavensward storyline. Oh well. I beg your pardon. This man is an Uldan merchant here at the behest of House Fort Tom. Such baseless accusations will not be tolerated. A guest of House Fort Tom? Then he couldn't possibly. Though there were those two wards but they were acquitted of all charges in a trial by combat. And if he demands the right to, then I would personally have to... Oh dear. He's already warming up for a fight. 1,000 apologies, good sir. I spoke out of turn. I am Seer, and you may have guessed, I am an inquisitor who's been charged with investigating reports of rather suspicious, possibly heretical individual. Ho, a heretic, you say? One who bears a passing resemblance to me? Aye, a man, rather muscular, wearing dark garments and acquitting himself in a somewhat gentlemanly fashion, as some might say. This heretic sounds like the spitting image of Inspector Hildibrand. Could he be a fan? You dolt. Say again, you are acquainted with the man. I see. And the man you are looking for is Lord Godbert's son? It would seem our investigations may be connected. So, I put you to a proposal. The first reported sightings of the heretic I am tracking come from Falcon's Nest. Mayhap we should mayhap we should journey there together. It is, after all, possible that we're seeking the selfsame individual. If so, and if he is innocent, it would be for the best if you were present when I apprehend him, that we might resolve this matter without incident. I say we go with him, Foxy. This looks to be our best lead yet. Then I shall accompany you all. It has been far too long since I laid eyes on my beloved son, and if there's a chance we might be reunited, I should be glad to seize it. Then it is settled. We shall leave for Falcon's Nest at once. So we're gonna play this off as the last remnants of the church being churchy, just for the sake of things making sense canonically. Dawn has broken on Falcon's Nest. And this Manderville wannabe is out looking for a Manderville man. Redwald, have you happened to see a most gentlemanly fellow out here? Mistress Games, are these your traveling companions? Yeah, they look a bit weird, I know, but... The mysterious muscular vagabond? Ah, yes. A patrol sighted him lurking near the dusk vigil. Thinking he might be a lost traveler, they called out to him, but rather than approach, he fled. Quite frankly, I'm surprised you bothered to come all this way. That sighting barely warranted a mention in my report. Aha! The unmistakable scent of heresy. Terribly sorry. Old habit I picked up from my mentor. I know. I will not rush to judgment as before. Still, much as I hope you find your missing inspector, I must confess some small desire that we instead unearth a lingering pocket of heresy. Of late, there have been virtually no confirmed instances of heretical misdeeds. It's gotten so bad that some are speculating our funding may be reduced, or worse, that the Inquisition's operations might come under review. That is why, alone as my witness, I will find and bring a heretic to justice and prove that our order still has values in these uncertain times. Oh, so the writers... I mean, maybe it's different depending on how far along you are in the quest line and the main story quest, but this actually makes quite a bit of sense. Yes, I understand you have your reasons. But whether or not this vagabond was a heretic remains to be seen, Nashu falling asleep as usual. Still, if you are set upon your course, you might begin your search near the Dusk Vigil. An excellent suggestion, Sir Redwald. Should we succeed in our endeavor, rest assured that you will share in the glory. The hunt continues, onward to the Dusk Vigil. I am told that region is especially cold, so do not forget to dress appropriately for the weather. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll be sure to keep this on. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is just, I mean, it's beautiful. It's, totally suited for the weather. It's tittylicious, alright? Let's just be honest here. Rose Lanner, take me to the sky! Oh, Hildibrand. If you're all the way out here, your chances of survival are unfortunately quite slim. I mean, you have proven insanely hard to kill, but... there are still hungry dragons out here, and not all of them are, you know, reformed. I mean, failing that, there are wolves and yetis and rooms. And that's if you don't die from the cold in your ridiculous outfit. Not that I have any room to criticize. He has Godbert to dress for the weather, and look at him! He's wearing a crop top, for God's sake! Look at this absolute god among men. He might be freezing his ass off, but far be it for him to actually show it. This absolute pansy of a beta male, on the other hand, well, I think the image speaks for itself. I trust you are managing. Good. It would be a shame we had to turn back now. What an absolute pansy. This land has a beauty all its own, don't you think? I pity my dear wife isn't here to enjoy it. Knowing her, she's probably out here watching us, making sure we don't fuck things up again. Look, it's frozen! Wait, does that mean the fish are frozen too? Well, I'm sure it's liquid underneath. Fury, take me, it's freezing. Ah, this is a waste of time. No living thing could survive in this god's-forsaken wasteland. Over there, look! Someone's coming from the vigil. Inspector? Inspector, is that you? As I live and breathe, of all the places to be reunited with Master Zombiebrand's compatriots, how fare you all this fine morning? Hark! A heretic raised from the dead by his brother's unholy magics. He's not a heretic, he's one of the gentle dead men. What brings you so far from Ul'dah, good sir? Well, as you know, ours is a rather lonely existence, so when we heard rumors of an abandoned fortress held by zombies, we were delighted. I was chosen to serve as emissary and set out immediately. Alas, it seems my efforts were all for naught. Ah, truly? Every last one dead? That is to say, irrevocably dead? Ah, if it was necessary, then so be it. Still, after coming all this way, it is more than a little disappointing, you understand. Then, my calculations were wrong? The inspector didn't land in Coerthas? Now, do not fret so. If it is our overlord you seek, then you are in luck. As the founder of the Gentle Dead Men, our fates and our ether are inextricably intertwined. In fact, I can feel it calling to me now. Truly, good sir? You can guide us to Inspector Hildibrand? As surely as my rotting nose can lead me to fresh brains. Follow me, my friends. I couldn't believe that this questline could get any sillier, and yet here we are, talking to a zombie. One must remain vigilant for heresy, for it can manifest in myriad ways. 'Tis a vile, insidious sickness, which must needs be burned out ere the infection takes hold. Surely zombification would qualify, yes? Confound it, they've left us behind! Oh, I am liking how this is going so far. Well, Seer, I can tell you don't get out much. Who do they think they are, commandeering this investigation, and employing a zombie as a bloodhound? It beggars belief. We must regain control of the situation, with me, Foxy. But I'm not with you, you're just tagging along, okay? What, you think I'm the sane one in this scenario? I mean, I'm out here volunteering to do this, for God's sake. Sicknesses want to fester and spread, yes? Is it truly safe to consort with this man? Godbert, doing squats to stay warm. I like the cut of your jib. Simply basking in this magnificent scenery fills me with inspiration. Inspector! Inspector! Hold a moment, my friends. I must need concentrate. Master Zombiebrand is indeed nearby, but there's also something else. Mayhap a powerful magic confounding my senses. I can guide you no further. We must needs split up and search the area. Now see here, these wastes are infested with wild beasts, and you would have us split up? Foxy can handle herself, true, and you've clearly no reason to fear death. But what of Mistress Nashu? I take your meaning, my good zombie Foxy. Oh, my good zombie, Foxy, praise he to the lady's protection. Inquisitor Seer, would you care to take the lead? Come on, you two. The inspector is out there somewhere. Let's go, then. I wonder what other bird mounts there are. I got these two just by being run through a couple of dungeons. You guys remember that, I'm sure. Ah, those sculpted legs clad in gentlemanly trousers. I know them. Oh God, he's over there. He's buried in the ground, surrounded by yetis. Look, Foxy, that's got to be the inspector. And he's surrounded by giant, fluffy, man-shaped gazebos. Again with the gazebos. Nay, my lady, they are not mere gazebos. Note their regal bearing. They are gentlemen gazebos. They're not... Oh... Fearsome yet fastidious foes who would surely tear me rotting limb from rotting limb. Only Foxy can save Master Zombiebrand now. Alright, I'll take care of it. I beg of you, my friend, you must save Master Zombiebrand before it is too late. Aye, I see it now. They are rather more dignified and gentlemanly than your average gazebo. What do you think a gazebo is? Alright. Alright, Hildibrand. Alright. Gentlemen yetis. Have at me. They were very gentlemanly. Inspector! Inspector, can you hear me? We've been looking all over for you. Oh, but this just won't do. We've got to get you out of there before you catch cold. Man, he's really stuck in there. Well, it would help if you weren't pulling in two separate directions. Up and at 'em. Everyone is waiting for you. Forgive me. If I pull any harder, my arms are likely to tear. Ah, there you are. We heard shouting. Have you perchance found something? Fury, take me! Is that my heretic? Confound it, I wanted him alive. Inspector Hildibrand is definitely not a heretic, and he's probably not dead either. He's just hibernating, like last time. Hildy ever was a late riser. Fear not, my wife and I had our ways of waking him. Oh no. I could not read that. Right this instant. I assume it was something along the lines of wake your ass up. And just like that, you've buried him all over again. I knew it! Was it the Manderville meteor strike or the Manderville meteor drive? Maybe Julian was right. Trying to name everything only leads to needless confusion. One more time, then. Out you go! What the? Splendidly suplexed, Lord Godbert. Where am I? The snowy wastelands of Coerthas? And who are these people I see before me? Oh no, did you lose your memory again? But of course. Who else would venture into inhospitable climes and wake me from slumber, but my slumber sweet, but my beloved fans? Why do I feel as though I've stepped through a portal into an alternate reality unbound by the laws of logic? Yeah, the other interloper into our little misadventures thought that too. I wonder what happened to Inspector Brydian. And what is this thing? What is that, a mammet? Where did it come from? Oh, that! When my father drove me into the earth, I found it buried beneath the snow. A little Lalafellin girl. How adorable. I don't think it's a Lalafell. Nashu, please. Note the firm, muscular legs not unlike my own. 'Tis clearly a Lalafellin boy. Now you mention it, I suppose his features are rather masculine. You two cannot possibly be serious. Oh, you have no idea, friend. I am the very soul of seriousness, good sir, especially in matters of deduction. This is undoubtedly a young boy who, much like myself, fell into a deep slumber upon being buried beneath the snow. Now then, let us gently wake him and ascertain his identity. Oh, God. There, that ought to do it. Oh, it's adorable. It's a little Vivi. What is this place? Who am I? That face. Well, we found Hildibrand in a particularly familiar situation. I mean, this whole scene is familiar, isn't it? Hildibrand with his clothes all disheveled, Godbert completely missing his, Nashu standing right at Hildibrand's side, a zombie not too far, a confused onlooker, and a new mystery to solve. Well, let's have a chat with everyone. I remember nothing. What do you want, dog? Yeah, that's what I thought. 'Tis not in all creation that cannot be repaired with a little tender, loving care. Is that what you call what you just did? Master Zombiebrand is alive and full of beans. It's a miracle. Full of beans? Okay. Surely there is a perfectly logical explanation for all of this. You'd be surprised. Inspector Hildibrand's back, and he brought a friend. It would seem that although Father's ungentle ministration served to restore this young boy to life, they also robbed him of his memory. How did I get here? Who am I? Why can I not remember? Do not worry, young man. Everything will be all right. Take it from me, I have lost my memory more times than I can even remember. Then you can help me to remember? Hearken to me now, for I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, do hereby swear to solve the mystery of the amnesiac Hobbledehoy. Wonderful, wonderful. I'll get started on a batch of Nashu's delights. Oh no. Effective as your explosives were in the past, I suspect that young Gigi lacks the hardy constitution required to survive such an approach. Gigi? Is that my name? When you woke, you were muttering Gigi Gigi Gigi. I suspect the phrase may hold some significance to you, so until such a time as we learn your real name, I say why not adopt it as a playful moniker? But that's just the sound all Mammets make. What kind of imbecile goes and names a Mammet Gigi anyway? Gigi, I like this name. Thank you, kind sir. But how will this new name help me to remember who I am? Patience, Gigi. This is only the beginning. Next we will return to the city and see if we cannot find any who know who you are. Come along. Now that I know our overlord is safe and sound, I too must take my leave of you and return to my brothers. I dare say rigor mortis will set in if I remain here any longer. Bound for Thanalan? Then allow me to accompany you. Julian will give me no end of trouble if I keep her waiting much longer, though perhaps she will forgive me once I tell her of Hildy's return. This is rather a lot to digest, though you have the look of one accustomed to such happenings. In any case, regardless of Mistress Nashu's protestations, the inspector will not be granted access to the capital until we can confirm that he is not a heretic. You have my word that he will be treated fairly. Oh no. Who's watching us at this time? Is it Julian again? Or does somebody else have machinations for us? Hildibrand, you seem to be quite adept at attracting attention. Oh well. Back to Ishgard. Fury take me, that man. Ah, Foxy. I suppose you've heard the news, then, that Inspector Hildibrand was cleared of all suspicion and judged to be no more than an eccentric curiosity. Those are apt words. Insufficient words, but apt. If you're looking for him, good luck. I wanted to thank him for his cooperation, but as soon as the Temple Knights released him, he and his assistant ran off to gods know where with that Mammet in tow. As for my investigation, in spite of all the twists and turns, I managed to salvage a satisfactory result. As far as the Inquisition is concerned, the suspicious vagabond was not more than a zombie which wandered away from the Dusk Vigil, sickness which has since been purged. So it would seem that all is right with the world once more. For now. I have no doubt that the Inspector will turn up again like a bad gill, and when he does, trouble is sure to follow. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Well, you know, that didn't take particularly long. It's not like the other quests. I say we've got time for one more. I pray this eve finds you well, Foxy, or at least better than it finds me. Seems I have no choice but to seek out that inspector and convince him to surrender up his Mammet to me. 'Twas unearthed under most suspicious circumstances, after all, and who can say what secrets or heresy it might hold? Therefore, the Inquisition would conduct a thorough inspection, and if needs must, destroy it. Given his affinity for the contraption, I fear the inspector may not be amenable to my request. Nevertheless, he must be made to see that it is in the interest of public safety. Would you be willing to help me persuade him? Fury be praised, at least you have seen reason. Let us pray he will as well. I am given to understand that while the inspector and his assistant have been wandering all over the city with the Mammet in tow, they often frequent the gazebo near Fort Tom Manor. With any luck, they will be there now. Off to Fort Tom Manor, then. I sure hope they're not bothering Lord Edmund with all this business. The man's been through enough. Oh, look out, it's the gazebo. Wait a minute. You again? Why do you always seem to be around? Who are you? You little straw hat, pink dress. You're positively adorable, and I've got my eye on you. To the very pinnacle of the heavens. What? Isn't she adorable? They still haven't decided on the gender, huh? Verily shall we scour all creation, from the deepest pit of the seven hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens for the answers we seek. Every day shall be filled with grand adventures, the stuff of fairy tales and legends. Huzzah! A grand adventure in the deepest pit of the seven hells. Just so. Such is the creed of Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. Oh no, it's copying him. Well posed, Gigi, well posed. I dare say you have the potential to be an exemplary inspector someday. Right, that's enough of that. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Hellenic Inquisitory Doctrine, I hereby command you to surrender that mammoth of suspected heretical origin into my custody. Why, hello there, Foxy, and Inquisitor Seer, ever the jester, accusing poor Gigi of being a clockwork heretic, when 'tis plain to see that he is merely a precocious young lad. Oh, there you go again, confusing the poor girl. As if those big, beautiful, boxy eyes aren't the soul of femininity. Nashu, please, were you not witness to the magnificent display of Mandervillian masculinity mere moments ago? That's 'cause you haven't taught her any better. She needs a proper role model to show her what's what. Oh, jeez. This reminds me of a Rocko's Modern Life episode. Mistress Games, Inspector Seer, what's all this commotion? I can hear you from the courtyard. Ah, Lord Edmund. Oh, Lord Edmund. My sincerest apologies for the disturbance. I am come to seize this mammoth on behalf of the Inquisition, a fact which I clearly explained to the inspector before you arrived. At which point, they set to bickering about the contraption's gender. What say you, my lord? Do you think Gigi a boy or a girl? 'Tis clearly a strapping young lad, no? Fury take me, not you too! Has the whole world gone mad? Fine, fine, but even supposing that this Gigi is a real boy, you cannot deny that the circumstances of his discovery and miraculous resuscitation were most unusual. He cannot be suffered to roam the city with impunity until the Inquisition has determined he is not a threat. I beg your pardon. Miraculous resuscitation? I see. That until such a time as Gigi recovers his memory, mayhap it would be best if you adopted him as a ward of House Manderville. I will even stand as witness here and now, if you wish. Adopt? Then that would make me Gigi's father? Doubtless the Inquisition would think better of taking any action which might threaten the cordial relationship between our two houses. Oh, Count Edmont, you wonderful, wonderful man. Yes, yes, of course. I'll do it. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Enquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, do hereby grant this child the patronage of House Manderville. Papa Hildy! Papa Hildy! The inspector's finally become a father. It's so beautiful. Quite. Now that you need no longer fear the Inquisition, you are free to show Gigi more of our fair city. Indeed, I strongly encourage you to do so. Mayhap, by the grace of the Fury, something will jog his memory. Thank you, Lord Edmont. I shall not forget this kindness. Come, my faithful assistant, my beloved son, we must away. Nose deep in your book again, are you? Oh, Helone, I would not presume to question your grand design, but... ah, confound it all! Well, mayhap I cannot detain the Mammet, but I am still within my rights to observe the blasted thing. Lord Godbert will be pleased to hear that his son is hale and healthy as ever. Not that I would ever presume to meddle on another father's behalf, and certainly not without consent. I love you, Lord Edmont. Never change. Oh, to have friends in high places. Well, let's, where the fuck do we need to go? Oh, they're not too far away at all. Oh, watch out, the gazebo might bite you. Oh, and the straw-hatted Lalafell is gone. Why is this person following us? Very strange. Where the fuck? Oh, they're down there. Oh well. Yeet! Ah, how long must I stand around waiting for that Mammet to do something passably heretical? Judging by the size of their estate, they've wealth to rival House Manderville. You mean that? Is that not the temple? God, look at all them halberds. I never seen such a well-armed building before. What are you talking about? Oh, there are very large halberds up there. Huh. What do you know? I never noticed that before. Come now, Gigi. Surely gazing upon this wondrous work of Ishgardian architecture stirs something within your soul. This grand manor of House Maltempsat? Pray do not fill the Mammet's head with such nonsense. That is a supreme sacred tribunal of Hellenic inquisitory doctrine. I should know. I work there. Furthermore, I am quite certain that there is no House Maltempsat, and that it is a rather ludicrous portmanteau of the four high houses, including that esteemed house which but recently stood as witness to your adoption. Well, Gigi, do you remember anything? No, nothing. I say, rather than parading him before the grandiose, why not give him a taste of something more prosaic? Let us make our way to the holy stables, that he might bask in the singular sights, sounds, and smells of Ishgard's famous chocobos. Well, it has been some time since we properly toured Ishgard. You know, I'm trying to think of where all this might be going, and honestly, there's no way I can know. It could go anyway, anyhow. Patience, patience. A watched heretic never sins. You're still stuck on that, are you? Such noble creatures, chocobos. How many halcyon days did I pass in the saddle, racing across the windswept plains? I bet you've never ridden a chocobo. So if I wanted hair that color, I'd have to eat plums, valfruits, and pineapples. But how many? Oh yeah, maybe people who've never played this game don't know. It's something I often forget. You can change your chocobo's colors. Don't ask me how it works, because apparently it's complicated. Splendid specimens of horsebird flesh, would you not agree? In the hands of a skilled jockey, any one of them could take first place at the saucer. These chocobos are the pride of the Ishgardian cavalry, and any temple knight who dared exploit them for personal gain would answer to the Fury herself. How about now, Gigi? Do you remember anything about Ishgard? Be sure to sniff the chocobos, it might help. It didn't. You know, just because you found him in a Coerthan snowbank, it doesn't mean he hails from Ishgard. Which is why we ought to try taking him to the markets and exposing him to all manner of goods from across Eorzea. Excellent suggestion, Inquisitor. Wait, I am now complicit in this farce? Fury, forgive me. But I want one. Buy me a chocobo, please, Father. Father, that strange-looking thing is staring at us. Gigi, 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 gigi. Am I that strange looking? Oh. Well, you are, but... This is the most disjointed tour ever. Well, to the market then. Here everybody is. Receive your orders, detain your heretic, meet your quota. Fury take me, it used to be so simple. Frightening on occasion, I grant you, what with my mentor's little episodes, but simple nonetheless. The fact that you had a quota is worrying, but unsurprising. These goods would fetch a high price in Uldar. What if I picked one with my eyes closed and gave it as a name day gift to myself? Oh, I wonder what I'd get me. You are so simple. Why bother? It's no use. Now, Gigi, you must not give in to despair so easily. Did I not promise you days filled with grand adventures and the eventual discovery of your mislaid memories? Spirits, Gigi, spirits! Uh-oh. My word, a vase flung to the ground with reckless abandon. Could this be the opening salvo of an indiscriminate campaign of vandalism? One waged by your wild gesticulations, perhaps. At least look before you strike a pose. The gods only know how much that vase cost. 123,504,000 gil at last assessment. It was over 700 years old and graced the homes of a dozen archbishops, 8 counts, 2 lord commanders, and 1 duke. But it was so ugly. It was so plain. 100 million gil! Oh, Helone, why have you forsaken me? What, you didn't do it? Oh, he's turning back time. Oh, would you look at that? Why would you have a million gil vase just sitting on the counter? This lady's full of shit. It's a miracle. Nay, the divine intervention of the Fury herself. Did I do that? Gigi, my boy, that was marvelous. You're a born artisan, just like father. Papa Hildy's papa? Your grandpa Godbert, the man who woke you with a few gentle taps to the noggin. You wouldn't believe what else he could do with that hammer of his. Why, some folks say he wields the very powers of life and death. Once he and the missus come back from their tour of the Western Highlands, I'm sure they'd love to see that trick of yours. Do not demean this Mammet's power as a mere parlor trick. We just witnessed a miracle, and I demand that you all acknowledge it. This Mammet... Sir, I say sir, 100 million gil for the Mammet, nay, 100 million gil and the Duke's priceless vase. My word, is this what passes for trade in Ishgard? Gigi is my flesh and blood. No, he's not. I will not sell him at any price. Please, Papa Hildy, no more. I know you mean well, but we can't deny the truth no longer. I am a Mammet. Gigi, whatever has gotten into you? You are my son. You are a Manderville man. Listen to your papa, Gigi. You are a Manderville girl through and through. Stop it, both of you. You're not my papa or my mama. Well, they are 2 dumbasses. The unmistakable scent of, well, perhaps not heresy exactly. Regardless, that Mammet's power cannot be allowed to fall into the wrong hands. Oh, children do say the most hurtful things. Well, it is only to be expected. Gigi is at a rebellious age. Strange as it may sound, I too tested my parents' patience, and that on more than one occasion. But if they could weather the storm, then so can I. Actually, that's not strange at all. I wager you tested it quite a bit. I say we find out what's got him thinking he's a Mammet. Oh my god. But he is a Mammet! How can you not... Oh, never mind. Seriously. Just so we're clear, you do agree that it's a Mammet, right? You don't honestly believe that, you know... I'm sure he didn't mean what he said about his Papa Hildy, which means he thinks I'm his mama. The course of fatherhood never did run smooth, but I, Hildibrand, guardian of Gigi, doting parent extraordinaire, shall find a way to overcome this trial and be reconciled with my beloved son. That's the spirit. Solving a simple case of childhood rebellion should be easy for a man who's unmasked thieves, defeated duelists, and led armies of the undead. Yes, yes, that's all very... Wait, what was that about the undead? Actually, don't tell me. For now, all that matters is finding that Mammet. We should begin by speaking with the sentry stationed at the city gates and the airship landing. If Fury help us, he has left Ishgard. We need to know about it sooner rather than later. I will visit the Ark of the Worthy, while the inspector and his assistant head to the airship landing. You can question the guard at the gate near the manufactory, after which we'll regroup there and share our findings. Dismissed. Well, who died and left you in charge of this thing? Now suddenly, you're interested? Herewart, what a name. Little fellow with a wide-brimmed hat? Ah, you came through here. Bought passage on a supply ship bound for Falcon's Nest. One of them, what's name? Lalafels, right? Funny little buggers, seemed keen to be anywhere but here. They thought it was a Lalafell too. Well, if Gigi left the city, it was not by the main gates. And the sentries at the airship landing have seen no one matching his description. Falcon's Nest? Fury take me, must we return to that freezing pit of despair? Wheresoever Gigi goes, I will follow him and find him and embrace him as my son once more. However, I surmise our final destination lies far beyond the walls of said outpost. Indeed, there is but one reason he would return to these frozen wastes. To frolic in the snow and cast his worries to the winds. Or... Really? He seemed in no mood to frolic when last I saw him. As I recall, he used his arcane powers to mend a vase, only to become morose and belligerent when it became clear to him that he was, in fact, a Mammet. One might even say he remembered what he was, remembered his purpose, and so he returned to Western Coerthas, that famous breeding ground for heresy where we first found him. Home to his heretic masters, to share with him the intelligence he had gathered in on the city. At long last, the undeniable, the unquestionable, the unmistakable scent of heresy. What are we standing around for? We have a heretic to catch. Inspector, I'm starting to think that Inquisitor Seer might not think very highly of our little girl. It is possible, but I would not presume to know his feelings ere he voiced them explicitly. How explicit does he have to get? Until such a time as he does, we should endeavor to surreptitiously bring him round to the opinion that Gigi is a boy of pure heart and good intent. Subtlety in all things, Nashu. That is the Manderville way. No! No, it is not. That is the opposite of the Manderville way. Ugh. Aw, even our footprints are adorable. They almost look like they were made by one of those clockwork minions. Do you really... Do you really still think it's alive? The tracks continue to the north. I would know those tiny footprints anywhere. Gigi came this way. Aha! I knew it. The Mammet immediately left the outpost and looks to have headed north along the river. By the Fury, I cannot wait to finally catch him in the company of heretics. I don't much like your tone, Inquisitor. If our baby girl ran afoul of any heretics, she'd look them square in the eye and tell them she doesn't want any. Hey, Inspector, I think I just had one of those moments. You know, of insight. Maybe Gigi came out here to find Lord Godbert. I did tell her grandpa might like to see that trick of hers. Brilliant deduction, Nashu. He must be eager to meet his grandparents. The selfsame ones he renounced when he declared you were not his father. Ah ha ha ha! What a fine young gentleman, eager to explore his heritage. Let us make haste, my friends, for a reunion of 3 generations of Mandervilles beckons. I really can't be bothered. You and me both. I mean, you're kind of a dickhead, and Well, this may still be anachronistic. But, you know, let them just enjoy their delusion. It makes them happy. Tracks continue to the north. Well, whoop-de-doo. Whoa. Gigi. The Mammet lies motionless in the snow, fragments of ice stuck to its cap, suggesting the impact of something small and round traveling at high speed. Like a snowball? These guys must have done it. My head, who... Oh, it's you. You followed me. Oh, Gigi, if you wanted to have a snowball fight with your grandparents, you should have said so earlier. Papa Hildy was very worried, though he is glad to see that you are unharmed. Oh, that is Godbert and, oh god, I've forgotten her name. God, he's doing the Manderville dance. Oh dear. It would seem he was struck by a snowball, much like these Steinbocks. These dead Steinbocks. Are you sure he isn't damaged? As if a mere blow to the head could fell our Gigi. We Mandervilles are made of sterner stuff. I myself have been driven head first into the earth on no fewer than 24 occasions, several times from moms above, and my mind is no less brilliant for the experience. I expect the Earth was no less brilliant for the experience either. Why are you... Are you nodding? Oh, he's behind me, isn't he? What good fortune to cross paths with you lot so far from the civilization. Forgive me for not taking notice earlier. I was engrossed in a duel with my Julian. But how rude of me. Would you care to join us? Grandpa Godbert! Grandpa Godbert! Mama Nashu said you wield the powers of life and death. I beg of you, Grandpa Godbert, grant me life. Make me a real boy. This is literally just Final Fantasy Pinocchio edition. Are you sure about this, son? It may sting a little. I will endure whatever I must to become a real boy. Then let us begin. Oh, God. This body, it's everything I ever wanted. It's perfect. Thank you, Grandpa Godbert. Thank you. Ah, but I have not even begun to begin. Baragot, guide my hammer. This man is an actual god. Oh. Oh no. Papa Hildy, I'm a Manderville man. Gigi, my son, come to your father. Let me have a look at you. This has become so strange. Papa Hildy. Gigi! Shoot. Whoever wrote this is just ridiculous. I can't. Uh-oh. Is he just gonna clothesline him? Yep. Well, he is a real Manderville man. That is for sure. Now that brings back some memories. Papa Hildy? Oh dear, who could have done such a thing? Uh-oh. Oh, it didn't last. By the Fury, it's just like the vase all over again, miraculously restored to its original form. Gigi, my boy, upon further consideration, I believe that this body may suit you best. It is, how shall I put this, more manageable. And much more adorable. But how can I ever be accepted as your son if I remain a Mammet? Is that what's been troubling you all this time? But why didn't you say so? He did. A Manderville is more than mere flesh and bone. He is vigor, compassion, honor, a gentleman for all seasons. Be you man or machine, it makes no difference. If they call you a Mammet, you look them in the eye and say, "Nay, I am a Manderville Mammet." Mother, father, forgive me for not consulting with you earlier, but circumstances forced my hand. I have formally adopted Gigi as my son and ward of House Manderville. Ye gods, I knew he was fond of the Mammet, but did you hear that, woman? Our son's gone and got himself a son. Grandpa Godbert, Grandpa Godbert. Ha! It all makes sense now. Grandpa Godbert and Grandmama Julian. I've been waiting years to hear those words. Grandpapa Godbert, Grandmama Julian. Few things in life are grander than becoming a grandparent, as they say. Ha ha ha! Oh, Julian. Something's wrong. Oh dear. And what's so bloody grand about it? I guess she doesn't want to feel old. I'll not be made grandmother to a bloody buggering Mammet. It's past time I beat some sense to my beloved boy. Wow. Harsh. Fury take me. I had heard the tales of dark nights before, but no, it couldn't be. No, I think it was something far worse. Heretical, like as not, but rules be damned. I'm not risking my life to find out. You and me both. You and me both. Oh dear. They're mad, utterly mad. The whole damn lot of them. How their house could rise to such prominence I will never understand. Well, at least the Mammet seems to have overcome its existential crisis. Before today, I didn't know a Mammet could even have an existential crisis. Wait, what am I saying? It's a Mammet. Why should I care what it claims to think or feel? You're becoming invested. Run. Fury take me, their idiocy is infectious. I mustn't allow myself to fall prey to it. Follow procedure, report to your superior. One step at a time. One step at a time. Who are these guys now? Who are these guys? Oh, this is just getting weirder and weirder. Well, back to Foundation. Hello again, Seer. Right then, my superiors, having been informed of the Mammet's adoption by House Manderville, as witnessed by House Forton, proceeded to take me to task for my gross mishandling of the situation. They remain convinced that the Mammet is a product of heretical machinations, and have commanded me to redouble my efforts to prove this incontrovertible fact. That may prove problematic, however, as Gigi seems to have forsaken his quest to recover his memories and thrown himself wholly into his new life as a Manderville Mammet, casting about for any hint of a case alongside his doting father. In any event, though I do not share my superior's conviction, I think it's safe to say there is something exceedingly unusual about that Mammet. You saw with your own eyes how effortlessly it restored that vase and itself to its original form. Reconstructive magics are not particularly rare, but his are unlike any I've ever seen before. It is true, he is a unique specimen.